What is up, guys? My name is Sakila and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you're notified every single time I come out with new content. And if you end up enjoying this video, make sure you give it a big ol' thumbs up. So okay, on to the video. So since back to school is right around the corner, I thought I would do a video or maybe make a back to school series talking all about all things school, what I've learned, my regrets, and just all that jazz. So if you're interested in that, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and also let me know in the comments below. Okay, so anyway, I guess for part one of this series, basically, I'm going to be talking about some of my biggest regrets from school. So we'll say specifically my biggest regrets from high school. So I'm 22 years old. I graduated way back in 2016. So I've been out of high school for some years now. And so anyway, this is just to share what I have learned with y'all, whether you're a freshman in high school, a senior in high school, or even just in school in general. I'm just here to share, talk about my personal experience with y'all and hope that it helps somebody else out there. So anyway, like I said, we're going to be talking about today specifically some of my biggest regrets from high school. So let's get into it. So number one of my biggest regrets from high school was that I didn't make as many lasting friendships or really nourish the friends that I had when I was in high school. So not to say I didn't have any friends or anything like that in high school. I did have some friends. I had a few friends. I never was just like, I guess, Miss Popular or anything like that and had just like so many close friends. But I did have, a couple pretty good friends in high school. But ultimately, a lot of those friendships, we kind of just, I guess kind of like grew apart. And, some of that is just natural and that just comes with life. But I really wish in general I would have maybe nourished those friendships a little bit more. And also, I was in a lot of different like clubs and organizations and stuff in high school. I was in cheer, I did track, I did choir for a little bit. So I did a lot of different things, but I also was just a really kind of shy kid, So I feel like there would be people who like wanted to talk to me. And it's like I wanted to make friends and I wanted to talk to them, but I just I didn't know how to. I was that shy. I was lacking in social skills and it was just it was bad. But anyway, I guess if you're in like the same position that I'm kind of in, maybe you want to make more friends or like nourish the relationships that you have now. I mean, there is no shame in doing things like watching videos or having someone basically mentor you on how to have social skills. Like there's nothing wrong with like if that is something that you truly struggle with, there's nothing wrong with going to counseling or, like I said, even watching like YouTube videos on how to help you with your social skills. There is no shame in that. So if you're in the same boat, I encourage you maybe to do something like that. But anyway, like I feel like it's just important to cherish the friendships that you have like in high school and just in general, because I feel like at the end of the day, friendships, they take time and they take work. And if you don't watch it, if you, especially after like you go off to college, so for my seniors in high school out there, it's really easy to drift away from people. So if you do have a really good friend, make sure that you try to take time to, still reach out to them if you do end up going to separate colleges, or if one of you goes to college and one of you, stays in your hometown. Make sure you try to take time to just still include that person if they truly are a good friend of yours as a part of your life. So anyway, so my next one of my also really big regrets that I have is I didn't explore some course options that I wanted to in high school. So fun fact about me is, sometimes I feel like I do really struggle with people pleasing and doing just the different things that I feel like are expected of me. So, and this followed into me going into high school. So I feel like there were some courses or things I didn't go into because, oh, that wouldn't be like a Sakila thing to do, So don't listen to people. I remember I actually had someone who I basically expressed a lot of interest into going into this class. I really wanted to go into like this auto class. I know even like the people who like, even my parents like who know me probably would be surprised if I disclosed something to them like that I wanted to do that. But it's something I really wanted to do. But when I told someone, they're like, really? Are you sure you want to do that? And then after that, I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do that. And so I ended up, instead of taking that class my senior year, which I feel like would have been a really good class to take, because whether you are a man or a woman, I feel like it's important to be able to do things like learn how to like change your tires and learn how to take care of your car and stuff like that. But because I kind of like bowed down to, I felt like what was expected of me, I ended up not taking that class senior year, and I ended up taking something else that I ended up not even really enjoying. So I ended up basically really regretting that decision. So if there's a class, especially after you graduate high school and go into college, unless you get like a full scholarship or anything like that, you have to pay for your classes. So if you can take advantage of not having to pay for school now to explore that class that you've always kind of maybe been into, maybe been afraid to try, whether it's like theater, a cooking class, like a mechanics class, like I wanted to get into, do it. Go forward, because you don't want to go later on in life and then look back on your high school experience like I'm doing right now and then regret, not taking that class. If there's a class or even a hobby or something that you're really interested in, if you want to like try out for the soccer team or the cheer team or the chess club or like whatever it is, go for it. Okay, and lastly, my third biggest regret is that I feel like, include God as much or to the extent that I should have in high school. Now, I've been a Christian since I was about 12 or 13. So I've been a Christian for a while now. And it's not that I didn't, spend time with God or anything like that, or like I wasn't just flat out not living out my faith. I feel like I was, but I feel like how I prayed back when I was a teenager in high school is different in comparison to how I pray today. And what I mean by that is I really used to pray, and I feel like even now sometimes we're all guilty maybe of doing this, but I used to really pray out of selfish desire instead of including God in every single area of my life in high school. So in all the clubs and the organizations that I was a part of, in my schoolwork, in my relationships, in my this and my that, I mainly would just pray to him out of selfish desire. So Lord, let me make the cheer team, Lord, let me get into this college. Lord, let me come out with an A in this class. But it wasn't like a conversation with him. It was just me telling God what I wanted. And so, if you are doing that, and this even doesn't just relate to specifically like young people, but in general, I just would really encourage you, like we as Christians, we are supposed to pray according to God's will. And so just be open and honest with the Lord and just come to him and go before him and just ask him to search your heart and to purify your heart and to make it more like his heart. Because when you're not close to God and we're not seeking his face, and I wasn't also in high school, I had my moments where I would, but I definitely wasn't spending time with God on a daily basis like I should have. So it's hard to get to know someone and to know their will for your life if you're not spending time with them on a regular basis. So, God's the same way. Spend time with him on a regular basis and he will start to reveal to you the things that he has for you. And keep in mind, and I guess this is kind of like just a bonus tip, don't be afraid to go in the opposite direction. God knows us better than we know ourselves. And ultimately, I wanted to go to a college since I was a freshman in high school. So for 4 years, I wanted to go to this particular university. And then I got into that university unexpectedly. I had given up my hopes and my dreams of going there. Then I got in. And then I toured it. And then something in my heart did not feel right. And God took me a different direction. And I'm so happy he took me in that direction, that I was obedient, and that I went to the school that I'm finishing up my master's degree at now, because I wouldn't have met the people that I've met. I wouldn't have had the experience that I've had. I wouldn't have met the ministry that I love dearly now if I would have went to that other school. Not that there was anything like wrong with that school, but also I guess to the seniors in college out there, really include God in the place that you want to go to college at. Don't just go based off your own selfish ambition because it's always been the plan. Truly listen to what God has for you. And that could be going to a school that is completely different than from what you originally thought, like it was for me, or because I truly believe, college is not for everyone. You know, I knew for the longest time that I had a desire in my heart to go to college, and I feel like that it was a desire that the Lord placed there because He placed a specific field of work in my heart that needs a degree. But don't feel pressured into going to college just because all your friends are going to college or just because you feel it's the right thing to do. Truly bring that to the Lord as well and pray to Him about, like, Lord, if it is meant for me to go to college, I pray that you speak that to me. And also don't be afraid to say, Lord, if it is not your will for me to go to college, but you have something else in mind, don't be afraid to take that path as well, because ultimately, no matter what path we take, if we're doing it according to the Lord's will, He will be faithful and He will provide. He never just tells you to do something just to do it, Like, He has a plan. He sees before us. So just trust in Him and know that He has your back all throughout just the journey of life and just the ups and downs, the things you expect and the things that you don't expect. So anyway, I think this is going to be it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you give me a big old thumbs up and subscribe if you want more fun Christian sit down content, or just want to talk about, things going on in the world from just a Christian lens. Subscribe if you're here for that. And so anyway, I think this is going to be, I think I'm going to make this a series. So if you have any other ideas on what I should talk about in regards to like school starting back, let me know in the comments below. But anyway, until next time, remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. I love you guys. Bye.